keeping count, I'm sure, but well played tonight. And how comfortable are you feeling with the new setup out there? How would you describe it? Just generally speaking, with the new cue.
No, the cue's fine, it's just me.
Tell me.
Yeah, I'd give up even trying to work it out. If I can't work it out, I suppose Steve had the same thing at his career. You try so many things, and you either can accept it or you can't. And I don't think I could accept playing the way I have been playing for quite a while. So I'm just going to try and coach my way out of it, give myself at least 2 years, because I probably haven't devoted all my time to the last 3 or 4 years, and I've been... So if I can just give it a good go and maybe find some game that I feel confident out there, because at the moment I just feel so...
You're still feeling that, yeah?
I feel so unconfident. It's like, it's horrible. It's horrible even when you're playing all right, you know, but let alone when you're...
I like the idea you decided to maybe jack in coaches. I think, you know, I think to some degree it's nice to have somebody in your corner, but somebody who's giving you other information sometimes that is confusing. But personally,
I got messed up by a coach, and it's just trying to unravel in it, and I'm not sure I can. You know, it's like it's really difficult.
Look,
you know.
You said you've kind of rebuilt your game a couple of times before.
Yeah, I have before. Yeah, successfully though.
Indeed, yeah. So what's still left? What are the pieces that still need to be sort of put together?
I don't know, to be honest. It's just a feeling, you know. I mean, there's somebody. I don't know if you see the safety shot I played there in that frame of it. It's so thick, I can't even see where I'm hitting it, and it's just guesswork. And you'll change something else, and then the shot looks different again. And you know, in the balls, I was all right tonight because what I've changed felt all right. But there's so many different parts of the game that you've got to get right. But you know, I'm just. I don't know what it's just like hell, to be honest with you.
It must be terrible to be in the quarters again.
Well, it's not even about winning. It's just about going out there and enjoying it and feeling confident enough to just do yourself justice. You know, I'm not bothered about winning. It's nice to win, but you just want to be part of good games. You know, I've always felt better if I've played well in the game and lost, and played terrible and won. You know, so. I know I'm probably not normal, so I've accepted that as well.
So Judd Trump seems to recently have been able to get some enjoyment from grafting sometimes when he's not got off to a good start. Can you get that from that as well?
No, I love grafting. I love grafting. I just can't handle just not knowing where the balls are going. You know, that's a different ball game altogether. You know, I mean, I played one shot the other day. It was dead straight, and I created an angle where I've gone in off, and I'm like, well, how does that happen? So.
But you're still tuning into the cues, surely, because I mean, you do take it takes time a little bit anyway.
Nah, it's all right. I mean, I couldn't even tell you if it was a good cue because I'm hitting the ball that bad. I mean, I've gone through about 30 cues and I've got to the point where I've gone, I can't really judge if it's a good cue because the way I'm hitting the ball, it's not, you know, they all sound terrible. So it's, I can't even tell if it's a good cue or not, really. You know?
Look, we're absolutely thrilled to see you back. Everybody's thrilled to see you back. And I know that you've deliberately taken a little bit of time out to try and protect yourself, and you've had 3.5 months off.
Yeah.
Something I really wanted to ask you about, when you came through in the first round and you walked into that Crucible, how difficult was that decision at that moment to do it again?
It was hard because obviously I just thought, you know, this could be a complete disaster, you know, like I'm happy to win 2 or 3 frames and make a game of it. That'd have been good. And if either of the opponents that I played would have played well, I would have got beat. It's just that they played poorly, let me off the hook. I've managed to score a few, and so yeah, that's just basically how I've got through it. It was very different from when I had a year off in 2012 because the minute I put my cue in my hand, you know, 7, 8 weeks before coming here in 2013, I just didn't feel like I could miss. So I just thought I'd come here knowing I was going to be rusty, but I thought I'm just playing well, you know. And if you're playing well, who cares, you know?
So in percentage... Sorry, Steve.
I was just going to say, but what a challenge. If they can win it, playing like you think you are. What a challenge is that in a weird way as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I've won this tournament many times before playing what I consider bad, you know, so it can be done, but when you're in your early 40s and late 30s, it's probably much more achievable. When you're 50 and you're struggling to bend down and do your shoelaces up, it gets a bit...
You're not quite that bad.
It gets a bit hard, you know. But no, listen, it's...
You've talked about, you know, not feeling it sometimes when you've come here, and you've obviously managed to get over it and win it 7 times. But what percentage would you say you're at by comparison to the least comfortable you've been before on the way?
It's hard to judge because obviously people say, oh, you're not as bad as you think, so it's really hard for me to judge. But feeling-wise, it's probably the worst I've ever felt, to be honest with you. You know, I don't even know where my back arm is. I don't even know where my left leg is. I don't even know. Sometimes I can't even see where I'm hitting, and you know, I'll butcher a shot, and I'm like, oh, you know, so it's difficult, you know, it really is difficult. It's like...
it looked awful, that 79, 80, 100, 100 looked terrible.
Yeah, you have little spells where, you know, I'm a bit like probably Seve Ballesteros, you know, I can spray it all over the gaff, but I'm able, if I'm round the greens, to make a few, you know, that's what break building scoring is like. It's like you have to be a bit creative, but long game and iron play, I'm in the bushes, I'm in the rough. You know, that's just, you know, the safety in the long game is pretty much non-existent, really. In a way.
Seve was pretty brilliant from anywhere, though, you've got to say. So.
Yeah, but at some point, you get caught up with him because, you know, players come along, they were a lot longer and straighter, and they equally got good round the greens, and that's what you're seeing now of all these players coming through. Everyone can score, everyone plays great safety, everyone pots long balls, so what I could get away with 10 years ago, you can't get away with today, you know. Which
is all the more remarkable that you've done it again, and you're in the quarter-final, Ronnie. So
stubborn.
What are you expecting of yourself? Have you already exceeded your expectations?
Completely overachieved as far as this tournament's concerned. You know, I was just, and, you know, I just keep every day, I go to the table, I just try and improve a little bit if I can. You feel like you're getting somewhere and then you go backwards and you think, oh, God. But like I said, I'll give it 2 years. And if it's like it is now, then there's no point playing because it's just no fun. Yeah. You know, but I'll prepare to grind it out and for the longer picture. But at some point, you just got to go, this isn't fun, you know, whether you're winning or not, you know, you've got to really feel like you're at one with the game, I believe, anyway, you know. And I've always, like Steve said, you know, like Judd, he's grinding out. I've always grinded it out. I think that's a given. You know, if you want to win tournaments, even Hendry and Steve at his best, they would have still had to grind it out. You know, it might have looked like they were much better than the rest, but deep down they would have had to give it 100% and kind of had to tough it out at times. So that's a given, you know. That's not my problem, you know. My problem is just queuing and, just having an idea where the balls are going, I suppose. All right, tell us about grinding it out against Si Jiawei in the next round. This will be the acid test, you know, because he does score, and, you know, opponents I've played in the first 2 rounds have had enough chances to put me away. They haven't, but I think this guy will. He buried me in Saudi Arabia this year because, again, you know, I was scrapping, but, you know, his scoring power was just too much for me. So, best of 25 frame match, 3-session game. You know, I'm going to have to, be a good, see where I'm at. You know, if I get through that, that'll be, you know, be a good test for me. You know? Well, I hope you can give yourself a pat on the back, Ronnie, because once again, there you go. You're in the quarterfinals, and I think I can speak for everybody who's a snooker fan. We're absolutely thrilled to see you there. Thank you. Very well done.